Hey YouTube, POD7 here once again with some more Mass Effect 2, finally. What better way to celebrate N7 Day than to actually play the damn game? So, I talked a big game about doing a lot of Mass Effect Andromeda content, and that was before Xbox switched from allowing you to stream on Twitch to Mixer, which was called Beam at the time, and it was such an unreliable service, and it's still pretty unreliable, that I just kind of didn't do anything with Mass Effect Andromeda except for play it, obviously, and then it started getting the hate, and I didn't want to be any part of it because I knew I wouldn't be able to stop if I tried to rail against it. And so when I eventually get to Mass Effect Andromeda in this series, then I'll discuss all that then, when nobody will care anymore, hopefully. So I guess it depends on what they announce today on N7, if they're going to do any more content for it or not. Wouldn't surprise me if it was just a eulogy announced today for Mass Effect in general. But on that wonderfully optimistic note, let's resume play. Okay, let's go
Jack would like to talk with you, Commander.
Kelly.
How may I help you, Commander?
Is there anything I should know?
Jack would like to see you down in her hidey hole on the engineering deck. Anything else, Commander?
Is there anything I should know?
Jack would like to see you down in her hidey hole on the engineering deck. Anything else, Commander?
Hole.
That'll be all.
I'll be here if you need anything.
I thought she would say
How may
something
I
about
help you,
Miranda,
Commander?
but maybe
Do
I
you have a
already
moment
talked
to
to her.
talk?
I always have time for you, Commander.
Okay, I think we went through all
I
that
better
before.
go.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm hoping that I haven't played Andromeda in such a long time now that I won't be like trying to use the jump jet when I'm fighting and stuff.
I got thoughts like little bugs crawling in and out of my head. I can't stop them.
Why did I give her this outfit?
You know I have a history with Cerberus. You know how far back it goes?
I'll listen to anything you have to say, Jack.
Your pal, the elusive man? Never seen him before, but Cerberus raised me. First thing I remember is my cell door in a Cerberus base. They did experiments, drugged me, tortured me. Whatever chance I had to be normal, they stole it by trying to turn me into some superbiotic. The doctors, the other kids, every one of them hated me. They let me suffer.
There were other children in the base?
I didn't know much about them. I was kept separate. They hated me just like everyone else there. When I broke out, I had to fight through them all. I showed them, but there's a loose end I need to deal with.
What did they hope to gain by torturing a little girl?
It was something about pain breaking down mental barriers and how it might clear the way for a more biotic power. I'm sure there was a payoff due at some point, but I wasn't going to see it. I was wired up in a cell.
They tortured you just to see if they could make a strong biotic? That's it?
Wasn't in a position to ask, Shepard. All I know is a little girl crying in a cell, begging for the pain to stop.
How did you get out of there?
There was some kind of emergency, and I made a break for it. The other kids came out of their cells and attacked me. So did the guards. I just killed everything in my way and ran. Guess my biotics had developed faster than they thought. I managed to get a shuttle off the ground. Drifted until a freighter picked me up. The crew used me, then sold me. That's my uplifting escape story.
You're absolutely certain that Cerberus was running the facility?
I was a kid, but I wasn't dumb. I know how to listen. It was Cerberus. Don't care how far down the chain it was. They thought they were so clever. Turns out, mess with someone's head enough and you can turn a scared kid into an all-powerful bitch. Fucking idiots.
I'm going to talk to the elusive man, and he'd better have some answers.
He'll just deny everything. That's not what I'm after anyway. I found the coordinates in your files. I want to go to the TeN7 facility on Pragia where they tortured and drugged me. I want to go to the center of the place, my cell. I want to deploy a big fucking bomb, and I want to watch from orbit when it goes.
You've lived with this your whole life. Why do this now?
Like I said, I found the coordinates in your files. You can't expect me to just sit on information like that.
I'll set a course for Pragia.
I owe you, Shepard.
So, this mission with Jack, I think, is actually my favorite loyalty mission in the game. From what I remember. It's been so long since I've played Mass Effect 2. Oh, we even woke up Grunt already. That's good. Kind of funny, this is like the best view of the shuttle bay in the entire series. Yeah, you can't go down there in this game. I'm just now remembering that I had like some big plans to like go around and thank you, Kelly. To go around and do as much probing of planets and stuff as I possibly could before we do anything. Because I know it's like people's least favorite part of this game, so I don't want to do too much of it on camera. But
away.
if you want to do Mass Effect right, you gotta do the whole game, in my opinion. You can't just play the main quests.
Probe away.
But that's no reason you have to listen to me drone on and on for 13 minutes about planet scanning and whatever other inane stuff I was talking about. I'll be cutting out loading screens, basically anything that if I were watching a Let's Play of Mass Effect 2, I would skim over, like running through the ship, that kind of thing. Because most people have seen that by now. Most people that are watching Mass Effect Let's Plays have most likely played it. I'm basing that off of my own experience of most of the games that I watch Let's Plays for these days are games that I've already played before. I don't seem to really watch anything of new games come out. Like, I can't watch a Stardew Valley Let's Play because it's just such a personal game to me. So, excuse me. Anyway, just wanted to explain that I was speeding this stuff up just to keep the enormity of how much of it you have to actually do in this game. I'll probably cut it out in the future, but I just wanted to show what 13 minutes looks like in a minute and a half. So, once again, happy N7 Day, and I'll hand it back over to my past self, I guess. So, take it easy, guys. We'll catch you on the other side. Okay, let's go do a mission. Let's get Jacobs out of the way. It sucks so bad. It's seriously like my least favorite mission in this entire game. Mostly because it has to do with Jacob, but also because it's a lot and a lot and a lot of Android things. Whatever the things are called. Let's just start at the bottom. Nope, screw it. We don't need to scan for resources on that.
I have detected an anomaly.
Jenna, this is Strauss. MSV Hugo Gernsback. Registration BW4610034087.
Scans have found something.
Kind of sucks that there was a huge spike of EZO right there, and then you don't get any of it because it takes the mission instead.
Probe away.
Yeah, I've kind of decided just now, really, to that I'm going to edit the crap out of this and save a lot. Because I remember there's a mech fight that just sucks balls. Even though I'm playing on, I think I'm on casual.
I have run a scan of the ship. I detect no life signs, but there may be useful technology or information still inside.
Like, why did they put this back here? There's always, like, an area like that in a Mass Effect game where it's just like, you go back there and there's nothing to pick up or anything.
There it is, and mostly intact. They could have survived
Lots
impact,
of synthetic targets
for
on this
years.
mission, so we'll be using disruptor ammo. Pretty much exclusive.
Looks like it was stripped after the crash.
How is this
They'd
screen
have tried to get
tearing?
a beacon up as soon as possible.
It's not horrible anyway. I don't know how it looks on the stream, but
Repeat, toxology alert. Danger of rapid neural decay. Local flora chemically incompatible.
so basically Jacob's dad was part of the crew of this place, and they crashed and couldn't get hold of anybody, and it basically became Lord of the Flies, and Jacob's dad won. They started to eat the local flora, which rotted their brains, basically.
Expect the luxury of due process, but this isn't a military ship. Just bumping the command line up a notch doesn't work. Captain Fairchild knew this crew. His
Yeah.
replacement doesn't
So
have
Jacob's
the same
dad wasn't the captain,
I'm hoping that
but the captain and all the people ahead of him started going one by one, and it didn't work out so well, basically. I couldn't remember if you get XP for listening to all these
Along with
ones,
this
so.
anymore. We've done horrible things to them.
From the look of it, this beacon's been here a while. Why would they wait years to signal?
Pause in beacon protocol. 8 years, 237 days, 7 hours. Pause is recorded as record deleted by acting captain Ronald Taylor.
That's not right. My father was first officer.
Ronald Taylor was promoted under emergency command protocols. Other flagged issues: unsafe deceleration, local food and neural decay, beacon activation protocols.
Why wasn't the beacon activated before now?
This emergency beacon became functional after 358 days, 12 hours. Following the unscheduled suborbital descent of the Hugo Gernsback, activation was triggered remotely after 8 years, 237 days, 7 hours, on the authority of acting captain Ronald Taylor. Pause in beacon protocol is recorded as record deleted.
Local food impairs brain functions? What are the effects?
Impairment of mental function due to chemical imbalance begins within 7 days of ingesting local flora, regardless of decontamination or preparation. Impact on higher cognitive abilities and long-term memory is cumulative, but significant within a standard month. It is not known if neural decay is permanent. Data collection was not completed.
Come on, let's get going.
My father had a working beacon, but didn't signal for almost 9 years. Maybe that neural decay affected him.
After 10 years, it must have.
You came from the sky? The leader said someone would come. He delayed for so long, but he still has power. Some have lost faith. The hunters. They will have seen your star. They will not let you help him.
What are you talking about? You're not making sense.
I don't remember how to say it. He's our leader and we serve so we can go home. But some want to fight him. They were cast out. He exiled them, so they hunt his machines and those who help him. They don't believe that rescue will come.
Watch out!
Hunters, they won't stop until the leader is dead.
Kill them! Agents of the liar! He will not escape!
Trouble coming!
I was expecting burst, or not burst fire, but steady stream of fire anyway. I forgot how to duck in this game. And take cover. Apparently.
These people didn't have neural decay. They're crazy.
My father wouldn't let this go on. Something is very wrong.
You killed them, but there are more every day. They want to fight, but I just want to go home.
She's lost it. We need to find someone who can make sense of this.
Here we go. Oh yeah, you can run in this game. I forgot. As long as you don't do it like...
Strip for
overdo it.
parts. Tech's wearing out. Those hunters must be laying on the pressure. Is that a settlement? They better be friendlier than the beach group. I need answers.
Jacob, you are the least hard person on this crew. Please stop trying to act like it. Hello, we're here with weapons drawn. Maybe not.
These people seem calm, but they're part of the same group as the ones that attacked us.
There aren't any men here. Maybe it affects genders differently. Makes males get violent.
That's possible, but the woman on the beach said the exiled ones came back as hunters.
It doesn't matter right now. One of these people must know what my father has to do with this.
You have his face. He promised to call the sky, but he sends nothing.
He forced us to eat, to decay. You are cursed with his face.
Not the best reaction to the family resemblance, Jacob.
Why would my father force his crew to eat toxic food? Whatever's happening here needs to stop. Look at these spoiled food stores. They've been eating only that toxic local food for who knows how long. Like that wasn't obvious enough.
He has a cruel face. His cruel face.
What the hell? Somebody had to push them to make that. That's borderline worship.
The hunters will kill you. They fight because he exiled them and waited too long.
Firing. Your captain demands obedience. Weapons
I've got no shield! Your turn!
He's gunning down his own crew to keep control? That's horrible.
Well, that would make them hate him. Maybe it was just for defense.
See, there's something over here to salvage. I couldn't find it at first, but... This gun has shit ammo.
Please, here. You have his face. But you fight his machines. You might stop this. This, I forget how to read. But this was the start. What he promised, and what they did to us. We need the sky. Take us back to the sky.
Jacob, what does it say?
It's a crew logbook. Some of them thought the beacon repair was taking too long. They were afraid they'd run out of supplies and lose their minds to the decay. My father restricted the ship food for himself and the other officers so they wouldn't be affected. Everybody else had to eat the toxic food and hope for treatment later. rest is a casualty list. A few mutinied over the decision. My father and his officers turned the mechs on them.
He wasn't command material and it got to him. Couldn't keep the crew in line without violence.
It didn't stop there. More incidents, harsh punishments. It's like they're cattle, or toys. In a year, all the male crew members are flagged as exiled or dead. They separated out the women, assigned them to officers, like pets. And after the beacon is fixed, the officers appear in the casualties too. After. My father took control and didn't stop it.
Does it say why he separated the men and women? Or is it as bad as it seems?
No, it turns to gibberish. Maybe the men got violent early on, but from the state of this place, I'd say the Hunter thing is recent. What he allowed here, Shepard, I don't see any justification.
Do you see an explanation for this? He's your father.
Is he? None of this fits. Maybe the initial decision, but the rest? Abuse of power doesn't get any clearer than this. I need to find this man.
Jacob, get out of the way. Oh my god.
This is Captain Ronald Taylor. Thank God you're here. My crew went insane. I only just got free.
It looks like the old bodies were posed like a warning. The newer bodies were just left wherever they fell.
The Hunters started fighting back.
By the front. Impact. Hostile forces have been.
Careful. I automated my defenses after the crew turned violent. And keep attacking.
He has plenty of choices. It's too late to blame the victim.
Jeez, Ellie, come on now.
Got you.
Have a nice trip!
Jeez, 2 bullets left.
Draw left!
Well, there's still somebody out there. It's not good.
Excuse me. Hostile forces have engaged. Retargeting. Failure.
I had to keep them busy, distracted, but it's getting dangerous. Thank God you've come.
He had his fun, and now he wants out. Son of a bitch.
He shot me through the wall. What the heck?
Through my shield!
It took years to train my guards. I'm afraid you'll have to fight them to rescue me.
Throwing people away. This thing is not my father.
Heavy weapon ammo. I wonder what that means. Oh, Jacob doesn't have overload. Crap.
Gear up! Got him!
forget the concussion shot's not like it is in Mass Effect 3.
We can go home.
Enough with the toys. I need to look my father in the eye and hear him justify this.
Not quite yet, Jake. Got some refined element 0 to pick up around here. Is that everything? Here we go.
You're here. I knew a real squad would blow through just fine. Sorry if the mech scuffed your pads. I'll get you something nice when we get back to Alliance space. I've gotta have some back pay coming.
What about your crew, acting captain?
Total loss. The toxic food turned them wild. They propped me up here in some kind of ritual behavior. Waiting for a chance to signal has been hell.
That's the best you can do?
You let all your people talk back like that? Who are you exactly?
Commander Shepard of the Normandy. I believe you are acquainted with Mr. Taylor.
Taylor? Jacob? No. Not Jacob.
Why not me? Would 10 years of this look better to anyone else in the galaxy?
You have to understand, this isn't me. The realities of command, they change you. I wasn't ready for that. I made sure you were taught right. Before I left, I hoped to leave it at that.
I'm not unreasonable, Captain, but 10 years? What happened?
God damn it! Why did you do this to your crew?
There was resistance to the plan. Mutiny. We had to take a hard line to keep order. And things settled down. As the decay set in, we made sure the crew were comfortable. Some even seemed happier. Ignorance is bliss, right? And they were grateful for guidance, like an instinct. Pure authority was easy, at first. Months in, the effect lowered inhibitions. They got territorial. Rank, protocol, they couldn't understand. We had to establish dominance. After a while, the perks seemed normal.
That's it? You created a harem and played king? 10 years in a juvenile fantasy?
I can't point to where it all went wrong. But when the beacon was ready, revealing what happened didn't seem like a good idea.
What happened to the other officers?
Anders found his conscience a little late to step back. He had an accident. Things got tense. End of the day, I was the one with the mechs. I got a little basic in setting examples. But I was kind to my people once things settled down. Seemed like I'd earned some peace.
You fought over people like they were toys. Things.
What triggered the males to change and threaten you?
This planet has some strange cycles to it. I've seen some plants around I never saw before. Odd weather. Maybe some just adapted a little too well.
And if you treat them like animals, big shock. They become animals.
The stores from the ship couldn't last forever. You had to know this would end one day.
Dining for one can really stretch things out. Besides, I can think of a lot worse retirement plans than stripping down and joining the droolers. That was before the hunters, of course. Dumb or not, I'd feel it if they got their hands on me now. They want blood. I'd prefer to keep it.
It's all about you. Everything.
We can help these people. Cerberus can have ships here in days and pull everyone out.
He's not worth the fuel to haul him out or the air he's breathing. He's damn lucky I don't think he's even worth pulling the trigger. I don't know who you are, because you're not any father I remember.
We'll secure him for an Alliance court. For every year here, he'll have 10 to think about it.
Give him all the time in the galaxy. The man who did this doesn't know right from wrong.
I'm sorry, Jacob. I did the best I could.
I'm 10 years past believing that.
Like, I get where they were trying to go with this mission, but it just... because Jacob is so flat as a character, it just doesn't strike at all. But we get a new outfit for Jacob. I bet you're excited about that. It's just as boring as his other one. And now we get to go talk to him, too. Guess Kelly's gonna go, Jacob wants to see you.
Light ships are inbound to secure Captain Taylor as you, Commander. We'll be long gone by the time they get here.
Don't even give them the tail lights.
Roger that.
There's no taillights on the Normandy.
What do you mean it wasn't you?
Jacob, if I had leaked the information about the Gernsback, I would be smiling at your resolution of the situation. I am not smiling.
Nothing goes through this ship, my ship, without a report to you.
I had no more reason to believe Jacob's father was alive than he did. But I'm happy to know the situation is behind you.
Fine. You didn't forward it. So who did?
I did. Figures. Who else could get into Cerberus channels?
It was hardly classified, just obscure. There was a time when it mattered to you. Sending this along seemed like keeping an old promise. I keep my promises.
Miranda, we'll discuss your liberal interpretation of security protocol in private. Shepard, Jacob.
Miranda's the best.
You had no idea Miranda was behind this.
No, she's got a good memory. Selective, but good. I haven't thought about those days in a long time. Can't figure which promise she meant, though. Not sure I really want to know. She requires a better man than I.
Come on, we got work to do.
Aye, Commander. Shepard. Thanks for the help.
Everybody gets one.
Anytime, Jacob.
I needed to help you to get the best outcome for this video game. That's why you got help.
Shepard, important news. Know you're busy. Have to deal with the collectors. Planning attack. Too important to wait. Just receiving data. Still processing, analyzing likely scenarios. Not sure how to begin. Too much intel. You remember our talk? My work on genophage modification?
You stopped the Krogan adaptation to the genophage.
Part of a team. Scientists, all different types. Blood Pack mercenaries captured former team member. Malin, last seen on Tuchanka, might torture him, make an example. Recovering Malin would be a personal favor to me.
Do you think they found out your team updated the genophage?
Unclear. No way to determine until we get to Tuchanka.
We'll go to Tuchanka and see if we can find your team member.
Appreciate it. My assistant, my student, want to see him safe. Malin last seen outside Erdnot territory. Scouts might have seen Bloodpack. Talk to them or clan chief.
I couldn't remember if you can see the platform where you stand, but you can see the doorway at least. You can't go down there though. Okay.
Commander.
Good. Don't need to talk to him ever again, I don't think. And I don't think we need to talk to Joker. So. Oh. One of the people I met through Mass Effect 3 multiplayer is online. Hooray! He's on the PTR as far as I know. We have one probe left. I was gonna say, I thought I had that.
Anomaly detected.
Ooh. Do we have a side mission?
Coming around for a second patrol, looking for survivors. Bastards didn't know what hit him. Coming around for a second patrol, looking for survivors. Bastards didn't know what hit him.
Launching probe.
Coming around for a second patrol.
Scans have found something.
Time to go hit some mercs. funny thing about Mass Effect 2 is, on one hand, you're like kind of doing a Dirty Dozen situation, but on the other hand, you're basically a serial killer. You just go around killing random mercenaries all the time. We'll do this, and then I'll have to pause and do my next load of laundry. It's been an hour anyway, so... Oh, Blue Suns. Blue Sanitary. I'm trying to remember what this mission is specifically. Did you see that Miranda and Tally were already standing there? Retrieve artifact. Nothing back there. I think this starts out with mechs. So...
Engaging hostiles!
Oh no, it doesn't. I think we froze them.
Nice job. Understood.
I'm taking cover. Yes!
You hear him just screaming.
Nope.
Gotcha.
I don't remember if there's anything back here, but might as well check. More Ezo. So on a higher difficulty, those guys would have been actually quite a lot of trouble. Oh man. Oh, headshot.
We're compromised. One less.
Why didn't I pick up this ammo? There.
Yes!
Okay, I think that should be everybody in that room. Can we get in these? Is it worth coming over here to find out? We're not done with this room yet, so... Still that ammo clip. It sucks because it seems like sometimes you have to like walk directly over them while looking at them to pick them. So basically there were some settlers of some kind and they trusted the Blue Suns, which is always a stupid idea. Ooh, that guy has some money on. That's at least 3 fish. Potentially one spaceship model.
Kill them!
No. Don't do that.
Hey!
Big incoming.
Avoid direct fire! For the
Nice. Telly just shooting directly above my head. Oh man. I must have got a headshot somewhere. Dang, you I got him better though. It's like,
Now
what
let's
are you
finish
doing?
you off.
I like how the doors just automatically unlock when you kill somebody in this game. Like you'd think you'd have to hack every single one of them. So I think we got one of my favorite missions in the whole game just now, which is pretty awesome. Whoa, Prothean stuff. Not a beacon, but pretty close. Oh, it is a beacon. Can I get that on a floppy disk? So I can show Liara what the heck's going on. Okay, well, I'm going to pause the broadcast. I don't know exactly what that's going to do to the VOD, but actually I might just stop it. Because then it'll be a short download, a shorter download, so we'll call that an episode then. My goodness. It's good to be back. I really love Mass Effect. Can't wait to actually get to Mass Effect 3 and Mass Effect Andromeda. I really liked Andromeda. Not as much as Mass Effect 3, but the gameplay is what sells Mass Effect Andromeda in my opinion. So anyway, we'll plow through Mass Effect 2 hopefully, and since I know basically everything you need to do, it'll just be a matter of not dying to the boss fights coming up several times. So anyway, this has been TeN7, signing off.